Hello everyone, this is SMD Mazharul Haq, Assistant Professor, Deputy Department, ISN Engineering College, and I am dealing the subject Electrical Measurements and Instrumentation. Welcome to the online class of Electrical Measurement and Instrumentation. So today our topic is about the reactive power measurement. So let's start the topic. So before starting the reactive power measurement, we discuss about the three-phase power measurement. How this three-phase power measurement is done. So normally a device that is required to measure the power is called as wattmeter. So there may be 1 wattmeter or 2 wattmeter or 3 wattmeters to measure the three-phase power. So let us see what can be done by a single wattmeter. A single wattmeter can measure the average power in a three-phase system that is balanced three-phase power system. If there is a balanced power system, P1 is equals to P2 is equals to P3, the total power is just 3 into the reading of that 1 wattmeter. Okay, as we have seen in the laboratory, by using the single wattmeter, if the power is balanced, just 3 into P1 or 3 into P2 or 3 into P3 gives you the power reading. Now, however, 2 or 3 single phase wattmeters are necessary to measure if the system is unbalanced. So for each phase we are using one single phase wattmeter, and if the 2 wattmeters are there, they are enough for measurement of 3 phase power if the system is unbalanced, and 3 single phase wattmeters are also required to measure the unbalanced power in the 3 phase system. So 3 wattmeter method is given here, though this method can work regardless of whether the load is balanced or unbalanced. So a 3 wattmeter method is one where you are having 3 wattmeters for each phase, and these 3 phase wattmeter method will be applicable for balanced load or unbalanced load, or it is a star or delta connected load. Therefore total power is equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3. So you can see here there are A, B, C terminals of a three-phase supply, and this three-phase supply is connected. Single phase A is connected to W1, other phase B is connected to W2, and the phase C is connected to W3. Like this, there are three-phase loads, star or delta or balanced or unbalanced loads connected to the 3 wattmeters. So how to calculate total power is here. PT is equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3. Now, when you talk about the 2 wattmeter method, the 2 wattmeter method is the most commonly used method for three-phase power measurement in a 3-wire system. Where there is a no neutral wire, the 2 wattmeter method is the best method used for measuring the three-phase power. So, three-phase power having the load, that is the star or delta load, that is balanced or unbalanced load also. We will see what is the collection of this W1 and W2 readings taken, and how to calculate the power, that is active power, reactive power, and the apparent power. So we are having three powers: real power, that is active power, and apparent power and reactive power. These three powers can be calculated by these two wattmeter methods. So we notice that the current coil of each wattmeter measures the line current, while the respective voltage coil is connected between the respective line and the third line and measures the line voltage. If you see a closer look here, there is a potential coil as well as the current coil. The potential coil is connected here, and the current coil is connected between two phases. So the potential coil is connected to one phase, and the current coil is connected between the two phases. This is a current coil, and it is having a junction here. Okay. So although the individual wattmeters no longer read the power taken by any particular phase, the algebraic sum of two wattmeter readings equals the total average power absorbed by the load, regardless of whether it is a star connection, delta, or balanced or unbalanced load. So now we will see the total real power that is equal to the algebraic sum of the 2 wattmeter readings. In the 2 wattmeter method, we are having 2 wattmeters, and from the 2 wattmeters we are having total power is equals to P1 plus P2, where P1 is the reading of the wattmeter 1, power of wattmeter 1, and P2 is the power of the wattmeter 2. Now we will see the 2 wattmeter method for a balanced three-phase system. So there are two types of systems. One is balanced, other is unbalanced. Now we will see a balanced system where you are having impedances here, that is zy, zy and zy. Why? Because here all the impedances are zy at an angle theta. So we can see that there is a balanced three-phase system where here VAB is the voltage between two terminals VAB, and the terminals VC have the voltage VCB, and there is a W1 and W2 connected where the potential coil is connected to A phase and current coil is connected to the other C phase, here the current coil of the C phase. So here the total voltage and total current is being taken, and therefore it is being multiplied and the wattmeter reading is given. So the wattmeter reading whatever gives, that will be added and we will be finding out the power. So what is the previous slide we have seen that Pt is equals to P1 plus P2. Now assume that the source is in ABC sequence and load impedance is Z at an angle theta. Each phase voltage leads its respective phase current by theta, and each line voltage leads the corresponding phase voltage by 30 degrees. So here we are having a clarity that each phase voltage leads its respective phase current by theta, and each line voltage leads the corresponding phase voltage by 30 degrees. So this is the assumptions here in 2 wattmeter method for a balanced three phase system. So the total phase difference between the phase current IA and the line voltage VAB is equals to theta plus 30 degrees. Theta plus 30 degrees. So that is the one thing is the between the phase current IA and the line voltage, that is VAB is theta plus 30 degrees. The average power read by wattmeter W1 is given by P1 is equals to real, that is RE of VAB into IA star, that is equals to VAB into IA into cos 30 plus theta plus 30 degrees. So it is VL into IL cos theta plus 30 degrees, where VL and IL are line voltage and line current. Similarly, we can show that the average power read by wattmeter 2 is P2 is equals to RE of VCB into IC star, where VCB into IC into cos 30 minus 30 degree, theta minus 30 degrees is equals to VL into IL into cos theta minus 30 degrees. So here it is cos 30 plus 30, theta plus 30 degrees, and here it is cos theta minus 30 degrees here. So we can see that this P is equals to V real values here, VAB in IA, and here it is VCB into IC. We now use our trigonometric identities cos A plus B is equal to cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, and cos A minus B is equal to cos A cos B plus sin A sin B to find the sum and the difference of two wattmeter readings P1 and P2. So P1 plus P2 is equals to what already we have written in the previous slide that we are adding here. So VL into IL into cos 30 theta plus 30 degrees plus cos theta minus 30 degrees. Now it is of the form cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. So cos A plus B form is cos A cos B, that is equals to cos theta into cos 30 degrees minus sin theta into sin 30 degrees, plus cos A minus B is equals to cos 30 theta cos 30 plus sin theta sin 30. So here after simplification what we get here is P1 plus P2 is equals to VL 2 cos theta cos 3 theta. So it is nothing but VL into sin here VL into 2 cos theta into cos 3 theta cos 30 degrees. So what is cos 30 degrees here? We will be having this cos 30 degrees, and in writing the cos 30 degrees in the full form we will get here root 3 VL cos theta. Why? Because cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2, and therefore 2 gets cancelled. The remaining is root 3 VL cos theta. So thus the sum of the wattmeter readings give the total average power, that is root 3 VL cos theta. Similarly, P1 minus P2 is VL into cos theta plus 30 degrees minus cos theta minus 30 degrees. Now again apply the trigonometric formulae, and after getting this cos A plus B is nothing but cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, that is cos theta cos 30 minus sin theta sin 30 minus cos theta cos 30. When minus sign is removed, sorry, minus the bracket is removed, then plus also becomes minus here. So it is minus written here, and therefore after simplification what we get is minus VL 2 sin theta into sin 30. What is sin 30? Sin 30 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Remaining is VL sin theta. So P2 minus P1 is equals to VL sin theta. Therefore the difference of wattmeter readings is proportional to the total reactive power. So here we write the reactive power formula is total reactive power is equals to root 3 into P2 minus P1, where the difference of the power nothing but the reactive power. So in this way we are finding out the reactive power by 2 wattmeter method. From 1 and 2 we are equations, the apparent power also can be calculated, that is ST is equal to square root of PT square plus QT square. Now what we want is we want the power factor. What is power factor? We know that cosine of the angle is nothing but the power factor, that is from current and voltage. The cos theta is nothing but the angle between the voltage and current. Cos theta is equals to power factor cos of tan theta nothing but tan inverse of Qt by Pt, nothing but here root 3 into P2 minus P1 by P2 plus P1. So cos of this tan inverse root 3 into P2 minus P1 by P2 plus P1 we will get here. Thus the 2 wattmeter method not only provides the total real and reactive powers, it is also used to compute the power factor also. So here the method of 2 wattmeter method is very effective method for finding out the all the three phase powers, and it is used for finding out the power factor also. Therefore 2 wattmeter method makes the total real and reactive powers to be find out very easily in the electrical measurements. If P2 is equals to P1, what happens? If P2 is equals to P1, the load is resistive. If P2 is greater than P1, the load is inductive. We have to note these points, that they are very good points to remember, and these are can be asked in objective questions in the competitive exams also they can be asked. If P2 is equal to P1 in 2 wattmeter method, what is the load type? The load type is resistive. If P2 greater than P1, the load type is inductive. If P2 is less than P1, the load type is capacitive. Although these results are derived from a balanced star connected load, and they are equally valid for a balanced star connected load. So this point stresses that although these results are derived from a balanced star connected load, they are equally valid for a balanced delta connected load also. The 2 wattmeter method cannot be used for power measurement in a 3-phase 4-wire system unless the current through the neutral line is 0. So we are using it for a 3-wire system only, whereas 4-wire system can be used but neutral line should be 0. We can use 3 wattmeter method to measure the real power in a 3-phase 4-wire system. So 2 wattmeter method with a 3-wire system is used to measure the reactive power. So we see a numerical problem for this, what depending upon how it is finding out the real power and reactive power. A 3-phase balanced load in this given figure has impedance per phase of ZY is equals to 8 plus J6 ohms. If the load is connected to 208 volt line, that is line voltage, predict the readings of the wattmeter W1 and W2 and find PT and QT. So the given data, first of all we should write the given data. What is the given data here? Impedance is given, that is ZY is equals to 8 plus J6 ohms, and line voltage is given as 208 volt. Now from these two data only we have to get the remaining data, that is PT and QT. If you see the diagram here, which type of load it is a balanced load only. So we will see this. The solution for this is the impedance per phase is ZY is equals to 8 plus J6 ohms. This is the 8 plus J6 ohms given here. Therefore, in the polar form, after converting rectangular to polar, it becomes 10 at an angle 36.87 degrees. Therefore, the power factor from it is nothing but 10 at an angle 36.87 degrees. Therefore, power factor angle is theta is equals to 36.87 degrees. Since the line voltage VL is equals to 208 volts given already, the line current is given by IL is equals to BP, phase voltage. How to convert line voltage to phase voltage? 208 by root 3. This 208 is divided by root 3 and becomes the phase voltage. So IL is equals to V phase by impedance, 208 by root 3 by 10, that is equals to 12 amperes. So as we got the line voltage, we are getting the line current also here. From the line current here, that is IL, IL is equals to Vp by ZY. That is 12 amperes is the current. Now Pn is equals to VL cos theta plus 30 degrees, that is equals to 208 into 12 into cos 36 plus 87 into 30 degrees, that is equals to 980.48 watts. P2 power. same VLIL cos 30 minus theta minus 30 degrees from the second wattmeter, that is equals to 208 voltage into 12 into cos 36.87 minus 30. So it is 2478.1 watts. If P2 is greater than P1, what I told in the previous slide, that if P2 is greater than P1, the load is inductive. This is evident from the load ZY itself. Therefore, PT is equals to P1 plus P2, that is equals to 3.459 kilowatt. This is the power, total power P1 plus P2. From these two, if you are adding, you get 3.459 kilowatts, and P2 is greater than P1, that is indication that the load is inductive. And reactive power is equals to root 3 into P2 minus P1. Root 3 into P2 minus P1, that is equals to root 3 into what is P2, 1497.6. That is P2 minus P1 is equals to, after subtracting these two values, you get 1497.6 VAR, volt ampere reactive. So after calculation, root 3 into 149.1497.6, you get 2.59 kilovolt ampere reactive, kilovolt ampere reactive, or 2.2594 VAR, 2594 VAR, or you can write 2.594 kVAR. This is the reactive power, total reactive power calculated by 2 wattmeter method by using the formulas of P1 and P2, and reactive power formula is root 3 into P2 minus P1. Now we will see one more method, that is the 3 wattmeter method. If you come to the 3 wattmeter method, here you are having W1 and W2 and W3 are connected. So the 3 wattmeters W1, W2 and W3 are connected respectively to the phases A, B and C here of an unbalanced star connected load as in the figure. The balance store is star connected with phase voltage of 100 volts in negative ACB sequence. ACB sequence. You can see that this is a sequence ACB, negative ACB sequence, and find the wattmeter readings and total power absorbed by the load. This is the question. So first we will calculate the line currents. How to calculate the line currents for this? This is IA. This is the line current IA. How to calculate this one? Taking the value of 100 at an angle 0 degrees divided by 15. What is 15? It is the resistance, or we can call it as impedance. So IA is equals to line voltage by this impedance, that is 6.27 at an angle 0 degrees amperes. IB is equals to 100 at an angle 120. Why? Because this is IB is 120 and remaining is minus 120. In a 3 phase, always we take 0, 120 and minus 120 as the phase angles. 3 phases are having the phase angles of 0 degrees, 120 and minus 120 degrees. So 100 at an angle 120 divided by 10 plus J5. Why? Because this is the 2 having the resistance as well as the reactance. We take 10 plus J5 here, and converting it to polar form, we get, after dividing it, we get 8.94 at an angle 93.44 degrees Armstrong volts. Sorry, amperes. IC is equals to 100 at an angle minus 120 degrees by 6 minus J8, that is equal to 10 at an angle minus 66.87 degrees amperes. So all are in the polar form only, IA, IB and IC respectively. Therefore, you will be having this IA, IB, IC respectively, and you will be calculating these values of these currents. And after knowing the currents, we go for the wattmeter readings, and the wattmeter readings are P1 is equals to the real values of this VAN into IA star, that is equals to VAN into IA cos theta VAN minus theta IA. So it is 100 into 6.67 into cos 0 minus 0, that is equals to cos 0 is 1, so 667 watts. P2 is equals to the value VBIN IB into cos theta VBN minus theta IB. Here it is 100 VBN into 8.94 is IB, and cos 120 minus 93.44, it is 800 watts. P3 is equals to the same thing, VCN I cos theta minus theta IC. It is the, always we take P1 minus P2 as the reactive power only. So here what we do is 100 into 10 into cos minus 120 plus 66.87 is equal to 600 watts. The total power absorbed is given by PT is equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3, that is equals to 667, 800 and 600. I repeat, here we are taking cos 120 because for P2, that is the second phase, we are having 120 angle and for third phase you are having minus 120 angle phase difference, but in three phases. So already we know this theta Ia, theta Ib, and theta Ic. We are substituting here and calculating this one. Later the total power is given by addition of all the powers, and the power absorbed can also be calculated as the power dissipated across the resistors. So how to find out the power dissipated across resistors? Ia square R plus Ib square Rp, Ic square Rc. After calculating this Ia, Ib and Ic squares and multiplying with the resistance values, you get the total thing as 2067 watts. 2067 watt. Why? Because we are seeing that the resistive loads also are there here. So what we get is 2067 watts is there. Total power absorbed is given by 2067 watts, and total power absorbed can also be calculated power dissipated across resistor, that is equal to 2067 watts. So the 2 watt meter reading produced P1 and P2 as two readings 1560 and 2100 watts when connected to a delta connected load. If the line voltage is 220 volts, calculate the per phase average power, per phase reactive power, and the power factor. So this is the numerical 7. How to find out this one is the total real or average power is PT is equals to P1 plus P2 is equals to 1560 plus 2100, that is 3660 watts, and the per phase average power is given by PP is equals to PT by 3, that is equals to 1220 watts. The total reactive power QT is given by root 3 into P2 minus P1, 2100 minus 1560, 935.3 VAR. The per phase reactive power is given by QT by 3, that is equals to 311.77 VAR. The power factor angle is theta is equals to tan inverse QT by PT, that is equals to tan inverse 935.3 by PT, that is the total power is 3660, and the angle is we got is 14.33 degrees, that is the power factor angle. Hence the power factor is cos theta is equal to 0.9689 lagging, as QT is positive or P2 is greater than P1. So what is the power factor? Power factor is 0.96 lagging because QT is positive. If it was negative, then the power factor would have been 0.96 leading, and P2 is also greater than P1, so the QT is positive from the previous calculations. So these things here are known to us. We have calculated the active power, reactive power, and apparent power also by connecting different wattmeters from single phase wattmeter, 2 watt meter, and 3 phase wattmeter, 3 watt meter methods. We have seen here 2 watt meter method also to find out the reactive power. So students, I would like to end my topic here, and in the next class we will see the new topic. Thank you very much.